Welcome to the Coaches Show, brought to you by the Denison Country Club. I'm Jason Smith, and Coach, you said heading into last week's battle that you really expected a defensive showdown. Your defense held up the end of that statement. Your offense kind of put on a showdown last week.
Well, they did, and it's a good thing our defense stepped up because our kicking game got us in trouble early, Jason, and I thought our defense came onto the field and they were, right away faced with an adverse situation, but they did well.
After a week of preparation for tonight's opponent, do you feel like facing last week's Riders' wide-open offense, does that help prepare you for tonight's offense?
It does somewhat. Their style of spread offense was a little bit different in the fact that they were trying to work the ball to a couple of receivers, one of them being the big, tall 6'6" kid, and we did our best to take him out of the game in some of our coverages. The thing that Southlake features is more of a balanced attack. They're going to search the field, get a lot of pre-snap reads, get some direction from the press box before they ever snap the football. So they're a lot more balanced with their passing game probably than what Ryder was. And right now, their running game is probably better than it was last year, and we feel like going into this game that we're going to have to take that part more serious than what we did last year.
A slow-moving contest last week. I know we were talking earlier. It seemed like the first quarter would never end. Lots of kids seeing action throughout the game, which is a good thing, but did we have any injuries from last week's contest?
No, we didn't, fortunately. We had a couple of kids that was hurt a week before that didn't play, but I think that we came out of this game injury-free, and hopefully, we can start getting some kids healed up before we get to district play.
Speaking of kids healing up, how's Malcolm's progress coming along?
His shoulder's still pretty mushy from the separation that he had over at Samuel, but his rehab is really coming along pretty well, but we think that there's a real good chance that we should have him back by Sulphur Springs.
Coach, the last time one of your teams was 3-0 was 1997. That's happened 4 other times under your watch. Of those teams, 3 of them have gone to the state finals, and the other one had at least a 10-win season. Compare this year's team to some of the other 3-0 teams.
There's a lot of similarities. I think you've heard every coach say, it's hard to compare one team to another, and it really is because every team has a different personality. But the similarities that I see with this team and say, for example, our 97 team, is the kids' attentiveness. They're a great bunch to coach. They really try hard to please. And we, the kids that we put on the field, for example, on defense, I can't identify a weak link in that starting 11. And that was the same way with that 97 bunch. I thought defensively we were real solid.
Coach, tonight you faced the Southlake Carroll Dragons, a team that surprised a lot of folks last year, coming out and winning the state championship in Class 5A. What do they pose for the Jackets?
First let's go back to that surprise thing, because I was quite surprised too, or I wouldn't have ever scheduled these people. I don't think anyone in their wildest dreams thought that a team just moving into 5A would win the state championship and go undefeated, but they surely did. They've got all the ingredients to repeat as state champions again. They've got a great number of kids out that are very talented. They've got great facilities. They've got an outstanding coaching staff with good numbers, and so the kids get a lot of individual attention. So they pose a threat in every facet of the game, as a state champion defender should. So we're going to have to be solid in every facet of our game, and hopefully do some other things, for example, on the offensive side of the ball, besides featuring an outstanding running game.
You talked about how they feature a balanced attack. Most people around here are going to remember the aerial attack that Southlake had last year with Chase Wassam. Of course, he's gone. They've got one of their outstanding receivers in at quarterback this year, much more balanced in their attack, but still probably the best passing attack you've seen so far this year. How do you feel your confidence in your secondary?
I have a lot of confidence in our secondary. I thought the kids just did a tremendous job last week, but again, we're defending a different type of athlete and a different type of philosophy, and they're really going to have to be at their best. The thing that we're going to see out of Southlake is they've got not only their quarterback but their running back, who's about 5'10", 190. He's a 4'4" type of kid. We're going to see a lot better running game than what a lot of people are expecting to see from Southlake, and really I feel like that their running game is actually setting up their passing game. Last year was the other way around.
You mentioned the quarterback watching pre-snap reads and making adjustments at the line, things of that nature. Are you going to change up the coverage schemes a little bit to fool that?
You got to. You got to against a team like this. You've got to show them one thing and maybe do another, and you got to keep them guessing. You got to keep that coach up in the press boxes that's making the calls honest. They're counting people, what you refer to as in the box between the tackles, to determine whether you're going to run or throw, or what type of pass you're going to throw, and we're going to do some different things. We're going to bring people off the edge that when we think that they're going to throw the ball and hopefully get to their quarterback. So yeah, you really have to disguise what you're doing against a team like this.
Published reports, and after last year's game, it's obvious that Southlake likes to stack that box that you were talking about, sometimes putting as many as 10 men in the box last year. How are you going to combat that on the offensive side?
I don't have any doubt in my mind that they're going to have a lot of people up front. I think that they're going to come into the ball game and say, hey, you're going to have to beat us with the passing game. We're not going to allow you to beat us with your running game. And they're the kind of team that has a talent that they can do something like that, and that's what I expect to see Friday night. So we hope to feature a little bit better passing attack in order that we can cut loose with our running game from time to time.
What's the key to tonight's contest?
I think it's going to be in the kicking game. Last year, again, our kicking game let us down, and we gave Southlake a short field on several occasions. That's why the score got out of hand, and you can't give a team of this caliber a short field, or they're going to light up the scoreboard. So I think it's again in the kicking game and field position, and hopefully we'll take care of our business in the kicking game. And when their offense comes on the field, they're going to have to take the ball the length of the field in order to score.
This has been the Coach Bob Brown Show. The kickoff comes up in just a moment.
Something's got to give. A great atmosphere for high school football. Nathan Farley puts the foot into this Cable One kickoff, and we're underway. Luna has it go through his hands. Check that. It's Jacobson, and it will be taken by Gedwet at the 6, up to the 10, 15, still going, and down at the 21-yard line. So the Yellow Jackets are able to stop the Carroll Dragons pretty much for the same thing they would have gotten by going down to the knee. On the stop, Super Mario Polk himself, for the Yellow Jackets, and the Carroll Dragons start 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. We'll give you the starting defense with a twist in just a moment for this Denison Yellow Jackets as the Carroll Dragons come out in their 4 wide outlook. 3 men to the right, 1 to the left. Luna in the backfield. Chase Daniels, this 6'1", 205-pound quarterback. A quarterback keeper. He'll run it up to the 24-yard line where he is stopped by a host of Yellow Jackets. And now, let's let the Yellow Jackets give you their starting defensive lineup.
Chris Case.
Second down and 6. Daniel swings it out to Williamson. He's got it, but he's tackled immediately. And it looks like that is going to be for the Yellow Jackets. Preston Spindle, the linebacker, great stop in the open field.
Well, it was Bill Bates actually out there right at the 25-yard line to stop him at the line of scrimmage to bring up 3rd down. Nathan Farley, the outside backer, runs him down, and a nice play there. They're going to open up the offense here on 3rd down.
3rd down and long for the Carroll Dragons. This is Daniel. Back to pass. Pressure comes backside. Throws over the middle. It's complete for the 1st down. And once again, McKay Jacobson on the grab as he found the soft seam over the middle, split the linebackers and the safety, and found the seam at the 35, got it up to the 37-yard line before Corey Robertson comes in for the stop. Robertson, 22 tackles coming in. 13 of those unassisted. He got another one there.
No huddle, run and shoot offense here.
Handoff Luna coming inside. Big hole, 40-45, still running into our near Yellow Jacket territory out to the 48-yard line, and the Jackets have the Carroll Dragons pinned on 3rd and long, and suddenly Todd Dodge's squad has exploded all the way out to the 46-yard line, 47, check it, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, and the referee kind of got involved in the tackle on that play. Luna kind of used him as a pick and got twisted around the referee, or it would have been even a bigger gain than that.
co-offensive coordinators for the Carroll Dragons, Scott DeKatnick and Clayton George, mixing it up nicely here in the first drive of the game. Just underway, 10:35 to go in the first quarter here on Katy Country. Lynn Burkead, Monte Walker, and the crew.
Keep in mind, you heard Bryce Woolard as the starter. Malcolm Allen is out.
Timeout on the field, no score. Denison and Carroll will take a timeout with them. Back in a moment with more Yellow Jacket football. Handoff inside, Daniel to Luna, big hole, 45-40 and into Yellow Jacket territory, all the way down to the 28-yard line as we come back to play. 10:22 to go in the first. No score, but the Carroll Dragons moving the ball on the opening possession.
Marcus Davis finally drags him down inside the 30 at about the 28-yard line. Reason for the timeout is the center, Jeremiah Jones, for the Carroll Dragons, had some equipment problems, and he is the deep snapper in this shotgun offense. Instead of trying to get a new center in there, they just called the timeout and got it fixed.
Daniel from the shotgun. He'll try to bust it out to the right. He gets to the 30, turns the corner, scampers to the 21-yard line before he's ridden out of bounds. They'll actually say he made it to the 20 before he went out, so it'll be second and short coming up for the Carroll Dragons. A nice drive, and we've got an injured Yellow Jacket on the field. They have not shown a propensity to throw the ball quite as much so far this season as they did a year ago, but here on this opening drive they have.
8th play of the drive so far.
From the 21-yard line, second and short, handoff Luna, running straight ahead. He's got a big hole. Vinny Rhodes tracks him down from behind, but not before he gets another first down and crosses the 15 to the 14. And 7 yards, and Yellow Jacket fans remember Chase Wassam a year ago, who just absolutely had a phenomenal night against the Yellow Jackets. A lot of Yellow Jacket fans forget the fact that great passing attack set up Luna on some great runs. He ended up with, I believe, over 150 yards on the night.
Well, the Carroll Dragons moving right to left on the radio dial and kind of looked like the old 60s New York Jets with those green uniforms and the stripes on the sleeves.
3 wide outs to the right, 1 left. Luna flanking Daniel, 1st and 10. Daniel back to pass. Here comes pressure. Chased out of the pocket, throws on the run, has a man caught, and the Carroll Dragons are on the board. 9:34 to go in the first quarter. And Coach Bob Brown and the Yellow Jackets kick off to the Dragons. The Dragons march at 80, and they're on the board.
Well, it was Kenton Gedwin who caught the ball in the end zone, in the near corner end zone. With he had a Yellow Jacket right behind him, but had him beat. And that's going to be 6 points for the Carroll Dragons. So they get off to the early lead. 9:34 left to go, first quarter. Dragons on top, 6-0, awaiting the PAT.
Garrett Hartley is the all-world kicker, and he is almost absolute automatic, and he drills this one through the uprights. And just like that, 9:34 left in the first. Carroll goes 80 yards against the Yellow Jacket D. Denison gets a chance to respond when we come back. 7-0 Carroll. Yellow Jacket football continues after this timeout. Robertson and Hines back deep. Robertson waits the Hartley kickoff, takes it 2 yards deep, out to the 5, looks for a block from Hines, up to the 10. Robertson to the sideline, still going, 25 to near the 30-yard line, and he stopped there. Robertson with a 30-yard return after the Hartley kickoff, and Hartley booted it into the end zone. And let's give you the Carroll starting defense tonight. Across the defensive front for the Dragons, Todd Bondi, Jordan Gray, Wes McFall, and Adam Boydston. The left cornerback, Cameron Parker, and Trace Reagan is the right corner. The free safety, Michael Agnew. The backers on the weak side, Adam Hansen. The middle backer, Ben Hickson, and Pete Fleps, the strong backer, the strong safety, Trevor Johnson. Denison comes out in an offset eye look, receivers either side on first down. This is a play action. Crawley, pressure, steps up, throws. He has a man. It is going to be caught over the 50-yard line in Carroll territory. The Denison receiver went up a jump ball, and that's going to be, I believe, Hines on the reception, and it is. So Hines, 27, comes up with a key reception, and here's the Denison starting O.
Crawley's pass complete to number 27, Anthony Hines. Tackle number 11, number 22, Michael Agnew is good for a tackle. First down at the Dragon 47.
This is the eye look for Denison. Toss Robertson, look out, 40, 35, 30, he's gone to the 15, to the 10, 5, stick it in the end zone, put it on the scoreboard. Corey Robertson from 47 yards.
Hello, Chuck Kelly and the Southlake Carroll Dragons. Meet Corey Robertson.
47 yards on his first carry. And how about the Yellow Jacket-O? 2 plays, 71 yards from the 29. Will Crawley got the thing going with his longest pass completion of the year, a 24-yarder to Anthony Hines. They're shocked. Then All puts the cap on it from 47. Farley on for the PAT. Fink has the hold down, and just like that, 8:54 to go in the first. 7 all, our score. Denison and Southlake Carroll, we're back after this timeout. Didn't take the Dragons long to score, Monte. It didn't take the Jackets long to respond.
Yeah, the American Bank of Texas scoring drive recap. 2 plays, 72 yards, took 40 seconds off the clock, and a Corey Robertson touchdown. It's now tied 7-7, 8:54 left to go, first quarter.
Cable 1 kickoff is squibbered by Mr. Bill Bates himself, Nathan Farley. It's taken by the up man, and that's going to be Joseph Agnew at the 31, and he goes out to about the 36-yard line. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. I don't think the Carroll Dragons are used to having opponents respond so quickly, Jason.
I guarantee you they are nowhere near even ready for what just hit them. They are looking for that license plate of that truck. The crowd is back into it. Kind of quiet after the first Carroll possession, but right back into it after that Robertson run.
Look at the visiting crowd on the far sideline. Denison, hats off to you.
Yeah, a nice crowd making its way down to Tarrant County, or is this Denton County? I think it's Denton County. From Grayson County. There we go. Handoff, Luna running right. A little room, and then it closed down at the 40. And he'll be tackled by a host of Yellow Jackets. So Aaron Luna Hines on the stop. Hines 27 comes up with a big stop. If you're just joining us, wow, a lot of offense, and we're only 8:32 left in the first.
If you were wondering a moment ago when I said, hello, Chuck Kelly.
A good buddy of ours.
Yeah, he's now the voice of the Carroll Dragons here, and we got to, we used to work with him years ago doing Sherman games, and we get to talk to him a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, we get to talk some trash. Of course, he did the WBAP High School Scoreboard and the KRLD High School Scoreboard for a number of years. Blitz coming. Daniels back to pass. Has a man, and it's going to be caught, but a great tackle immediately at the Yellow Jacket 31-yard line, and it is a good thing the Yellow Jackets responded so quickly because the Carroll Dragons, Kenton Deadwood, would have had a touchdown had the corner at Bradaday not been there for the stop.
Well, what happened on that play is as Daniel went back to pass, he had Nathan Farley right in his face because Farley was coming on the outside blitz, and he had to chunk it pretty quick. And when he did, he finally he caught his receiver in stride. It was a nice play.
Daniel looking to the sideline for some instruction. 1st and 10. He's going to run the option, keeps it himself, turns it up, and runs into a pile of Yellow Jackets at the 25-yard line. Coming off the bottom of the pile, I believe, is going to be Jesse Dixon. But there was a host of others, including Vinny Rhodes, in on the stop, but it's still a 5-yard pickup. And offense being picked up in big chunks by both teams here in the early going.
Well, 185 combined total yards so far in this football game, and that is amazing because we have 7:23 left to go in the first quarter.
Defense? What defense? Chase Daniel, the quarterback, hoping that there's not much defense in the next short while.
They're audibling.
Play. Luna will switch from the right to the left. 3 receivers left, 1 right. 2nd and short. This is Daniel. Back to pass. Pressure comes, and he eludes a Vinny Rhodes sack attempt in the backfield and gets back near the line of scrimmage and actually picked up one. Vinny Rhodes in the backfield wreaking havoc. He got a hold of the upper body, but he couldn't pull Chase Daniel to the turf.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he escaped Vinny Rhodes because he had him right in his hip pocket. Thought he was going to go down behind the original line of scrimmage, but somehow squirms out, kind of like Robertson did last week in his long touchdown run, but he squirms out and actually picks up a yard. So 3rd and pretty short. Well, short for the Dragons because it's going to be 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 of the Yellow Jacket opponents coming into tonight. 12 out of 36 at .333 conversion percentage. Luna to the left, 3 receivers to his side. Daniels looks to the near side, checks off. 3rd down and 4. Delay a game penalty coming up against the Carroll Dragons. 3rd and 4 is going to be 3rd down and 9. And Chase Daniel had a little trouble getting the right play call. They were looking to see where the defensive alignment was, and then they made their decision. You talk about Vinny Rhodes. You talk about Daniel getting out of his grasp. Daniel, a pretty good-sized customer himself, 6'1", 205. Don't forget, he was one of their leading receivers a year ago, 52 catches for 627 yards. 7 up is our score. Denison and Southlake from Dragon Stadium in Southlake, Texas. The Carroll Dragons facing 3rd down and 9 after the delay of game penalty. Daniel back to pass. Pressure comes from the side. He's going to launch it downfield. It's going to be caught, and it's going to be a tightrope job down the sidelines. The receiver is going to be out of bounds at the 8-yard line. McKay Jacobson caught it. The sophomore, Farley, was coming over to help out Brad Ade on the corner, and Farley tried to knock the ball or get the interception, and he was not able to get there at the right moment, and the ball just over his fingertips. And McKay Jacobson, the 5'10", 170 sophomore, made the grab and nearly took it in. This is a handoff. Luna running straight ahead, hits the pile and goes down at the 6-yard line. They'll give him progress actually to the 5.5. So 2nd and goal coming up from the 5.5-yard line. Vinny Rhodes on the stop.
What Denison has been doing is showing different looks to Carroll up on the front of the line until they actually get set. So they've been changing the defensive fronts and then mixing them up a little bit. That's why Carroll is having to audible so much.
Jackets come up to the line showing a blitz look here. 3 wideouts right, 1 left. Luna to the right of Daniel. This is going to be Daniel running to the right, trying to find a seam to the end zone. It closes, but he cartwheels his way into the end zone. And with 5:16 to go in the first, we've got a slugfest going at Dragon Stadium. It is now 13-7, Carroll in the lead, as Garrett Hartley comes on for the PAT, and he is absolutely automatic in the PAT department. A year ago in the state championship run, 90 of 91. He is 9 out of 9 this year, so he is just about unflappable in the PAT department.
No, they said there would be no math.
Garrett Hartley hits another one. He's now 10 out of 10.
That's a second
in the 2003 campaign, second PAT tonight, which gives Carroll a 14-7 lead. The Jackets get their turn to respond. 5:16 to go in the first. We're back after this timeout.
And we now have a 14-7 Carroll Dragon lead here at Dragon Stadium.
And Garrett Hartley on the Cable One kickoff, a yard on the 1-yard line. Robertson out to the 10, trying to find a seam. 20, 25, look out! Breaks free to the 35 and is upended at the 37-yard line. Corey Robertson, if he could have gotten by that man, had the kicker to beat, and the streak might have been over. It has been 54 games since Denison returned a kick for a touchdown. Robertson hurdled a man and had his feet taken out from under him, or he was a Garrett Hartley attempt away from going the distance.
Well, they started out a moment ago at the 28 on their first drive, and now will start out at their 38 or 39 actually is where they're going to mark it. So nice return so far by the Jackets.
Jackets will send a man to either side. Offset eye look. Robertson gets the toss. He's going to throw it. He's going to toss it downfield. It's going to be the receiver ran the wrong direction. Josh Vaughn, the tight end. I think Robertson was expecting him to curl to the sideline, and Vaughn ran the post, and the ball falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 to go as Robertson gets his first pass attempt of the year.
And of his career. That was one of those floaters. We've seen Anthony Hines do that so far this year, but that's the first time we've seen Robertson have a chance to throw it. A nice look, though, from Coach Brown.
Yeah, and, he threw that ball about 50 yards in the air. This is Robertson heading left, cutting up the middle, has a big hole out to the 49-yard line, ran over a Carroll Dragon on the way to a 9-yard gain, so 2 carries for Corey Robertson, and just like that, he's already over the 50-yard mark.
I'm not sure he ran over only just one Carroll Dragon. I think there was about 2 or 3 that was along with him.
Almost 10. They're going to call it 3rd down and a very short 1 yard, about a foot actually.
Should be 3rd down.
They need to cross just across the 49-yard stripe. The ball literally about 10 inches away from that stripe as the Jackets come to the line. The Carroll Dragons stacking the box. 2 tight look, and this is going to be Robertson heading left, looking for blocks, but he's going to have his feet taken out from under him in the backfield as the Carroll Dragons had number 42 dialed in on that one, and it's going to be 4th down and punting time most likely for Josh Vaughn.
Yeah, that was a nice play there by Ben Hickson coming up and making the stop in the backfield, and that's going to, like you say, bring in Josh Vaughn for the very first time to see if he can get his size 16 shoes underneath this football for a very nice punt. 3:52 left to go first quarter. Dragons on top 14-7 over the Jackets. If you've just joined us, Robertson had a long 47-yard touchdown run for the only Denison score so far.
Back deep is Jacobson for the Dragons. Vaughn 11 kicks, 36.9 average. He's got a 48-yarder and 5 of them inside the 20. This is a wobbly kick that Jacobson is going to come. He loses it, muffs it at the 20, and he's going to pick it up at the 19 and hold possession. And boy, did the Dragons dodge a bullet there.
Well, they really did. Marcus Davis was right there. Thought he was going to be able to jar the ball loose because he didn't have great possession of it when he picked it up. But Davis was right there on the spot, took him down immediately inside the 20. The Dragons will start at about the 18-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Dragons from the 18. 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns between these two teams. Jackets are going to have to dial up some defensive answers some point soon, trailing 14-7 against this high-octane offense from Carroll. This is going to be a handoff. Luna running up the middle to the 20, 25, and he's going to be tackled near the first down marker at the 28-yard line. And let's just talk about this offense. It's really, this year, not so much the receivers. It's really not so much Luna. It's the big beef up front.
You know, they have a lot of big beef up front. They are gigantic on the offensive line.
6'6", 280. Adam Ulatoski, the left tackle, already committed to the University of Texas. Mitch Enright, 6'1", 275. Both of those left side players are returning all-state players, and we'll give you the rest of the line and their weight in just a moment. Handoff Luna running right. Runs into a couple of jerseys of the yellow variety, but breaks the shoestring tackle attempt. Gets the first down and more out to the 38-yard line. Jeremiah Jones, as Josh Vaughn makes the tackle, is really the midget of the bunch, 6'1", 215. Kind of hard to call him JJ, the midget of the bunch. You've got Travis Stacy, the right tackle, 6'2", 272, and a junior. And the right guard, I love this guy's nickname, 6'3", 305, Spencer Allen. They call him Biscuit. I guess he's been eating a lot of biscuits. This is first down and 10. It's going to be a quick hitter out in the right flats. Look out, a Yellow Jacket missed the tackle, and it's going to be a couple of more missed tackles as the Carroll Dragons receiver, Drew Williamson, finds his way up to the 50, shedding tacklers all the way down to the 41-yard line.
Well, it was a nice play out there by the wide receiver there, Gary Richardson, who made a block on Marcus Davis. It was kind of a pick, but he went out to go block him, and about the time he made the block, their other receiver made the catch and moved right past him.
Yellow Jackets want to talk about it, trailing 14-7. The Dragons on the move. We've got 2:22 left in the first. Back in a moment after this timeout. We're back at Dragon Stadium, and the beefy offensive front of Carroll averaging 267.4 pounds has a new set of downs against the 203-pound average. Defensive line for the Yellow Jackets. Chase Daniel, the junior quarterback, with Aaron Luna beside him. This is Daniel, quarterback keeper, up the middle, 40, 35, still running to the 31, breaking tackles across the 30 to the 28-yard line. And Monte, so far this season, the Yellow Jackets looking very tentative. This is probably as poor a job tackling as we've seen so far.
Well, it's so much of a mismatch up front. You know, this Carroll Dragon offensive line is not only controlling the line of scrimmage, they are dominating the line of scrimmage. And it's really, I mean, there's just such a size advantage to these guys over the Denison Yellow Jackets, and all you can really do is just show heart and just keep fighting.
Well, the Yellow Jackets, another chance to do that. First and 10 for the Dragons. Daniel's going to hand it off Luna. He's hit at the line and dropped for a short gain, maybe a yard, so one of the bright spots for the Yellow Jacket defense here in the first quarter. $1:50 to go in quarter number 1. Josh Prado on the stop for the Yellow Jackets. If you're just joining us, we've had an offensive slugfest so far, well over 200 yards of offense in quarter number 1, and the Dragons own a 14-7 lead.
Chase Daniel so far is 6 out of 6 for 98 yards so far in this football game.
Corey Robertson has had an equally impressive first quarter, already near the 60-yard mark in quarter number 1. Daniel back to pass, pressure comes, throws it downfield, overthrew the receiver, had Corey Robertson and Brad Ade closing for a possible interception. 5 yards deep in the end zone, they couldn't track the ball down, and it's, for one of the few times tonight, 3rd down and long. And Monte, one of the things I was noticing as I was looking at the stat package that the Wizard gave us this week, if you look at the 3rd down numbers for the Yellow Jackets opponents, they're averaging 3rd down and long, 3rd down at over 6 yards to go, and yet they have a .333 percentage. The Jackets are going to have to tighten up a little bit on these 3rd down and longs and stop their opponents. They get a chance here, 3rd and 9. Daniel flanked by Luna to the right. Daniel back to pass. Pressure comes. He throws over the middle, has a man. It's a first down to the 15-yard line as they just found the seam once again. Drew Williamson ran the curl route, found the soft spot in the middle between Corey Robertson and the back of the linebackers, and Chase Daniel, with not much pressure that time, zipped it right in there, and it's a new first down.
Well, they are an offensive machine, looks like, the Carroll Dragons. 1:06 left to go first quarter. Dragons on top 14-7 here in Carroll, Southlake.
Daniel back to pass, looks right, goes to the end zone. He's got a man wide open, and he overthrows him as the Yellow Jackets' Marcus Davis had actually slipped in coverage. He had the coverage right, but he slipped as he crossed into the end zone, and it was, I believe, Gedwed, the receiver, the intended receiver, checked that.
No, it was Bo Galbraith out there on the far corner end zone. I thought he was going to be able to come down with it, but the ball was actually overthrown way over his head.
So 2nd down and 10 coming up from the 16-yard line as Chase Daniel fires a blank bullet for the first time tonight, his first incomplete pass. This is the quarterback option. Daniel's going to keep it and gets pinballed down at the 15-yard line.
Well, he was hit very hard by Kyle Richards right there at the line of scrimmage. Vincent Rhodes also there, but Kyle Richards is the guy who really smashed him to the turf.
Kind of a statement game for both teams tonight. Southlake wanting to stop the Yellow Jackets' offensive machine. Denison wanting to compete well with the 5A power.
Well,
and with 30 seconds to go in the first, they're doing that.
If they stall out here, no worries, because they have a field goal kicker that can kick 64 yards.
We actually witnessed him kick a 64-yarder in the pregame warm-ups. 3rd down and 10. Carroll perfect in 3rd down conversions tonight. And this is Daniel back to pass. Some pressure, throws. It's going to be knocked away at the end zone. A great defensive play. Brad Aday knocks the ball away as Corey Robertson came over in support. Gedwed, the intended receiver, with 11 seconds to go. And for the first time tonight, the Carroll Dragons don't score a touchdown on their drive.
Yeah, and Aday did make a great play in the end zone. He was about 2 yards deep into the end zone and knocked the ball away. Nice play by Aday.
Hartley only one field goal attempt this year, but that a 54-yarder. And he has been 14 of 16 last year, 1 of 1 this year, so 15 out of 17 career attempts. He's already committed to the University of Oklahoma, and Hartley makes this a 17-7 Carroll lead over the Yellow Jackets as we have 7.6 seconds left in the first quarter. We're back after this timeout. Hines 27 and C-Rob 2 back deep for the Garrett Hartley kickoff, and this time it's going to be Anthony Hines that gets to the opportunity, and he just simply watches it sail over his head as it goes out of the back of the end zone. 7.6 seconds to go. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Denison Yellow Jacket football on the Next Media Radio Network. I think the defense has got checked at the gate here at Dragon Stadium. Nearly 300 yards of total offense between these two squads. Carroll with the most at 2:15. They own a 17-7 lead. As we come back, 7.6 seconds to go. This is a handoff. Robertson, he's got a hold, but it closed quickly as he got across the 20 out to the 23, maybe the 24-yard line, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. It has been an offensive slugfest. Carroll's got the upper hand, 17-7 over the Yellow Jackets. We'll take a timeout, come back with the second stanza after this 60-second break. Back at Dragon Stadium as we get set to begin the second quarter. Our score 17-7 Southlake over the Denison Yellow Jackets, 14-0 Sherman over Lancaster in the second quarter as Drew Young's squad tries to rebound. The Yellow Jackets a power I set. Tight look to the left. They'll break out of the power I. Robertson dots the I, and the ball is going to be recovered on a busted play. Let's try to set that up. Will Crawley came up out of center trying to call for the timeout, and Gary Wett snapped the football right as he did so. The officials are going to give Crawley the timeout.
Wonderful.
I tell you what, a lot of colleges would like to have a facility like this. 2nd down and 6 for the Yellow Jackets at their own 24-yard line. Means and Robertson behind Crawley. Crawley, a quick throw, has a man. It's caught the 28, 1st down and more as the Yellow Jackets get out to the 36-yard line. Crawley, the quick drop, and he found his receiver over the middle, and that is going to be Mr. Price himself for the Yellow Jackets. Chad Price gets his 3rd catch of the young season.
In the first quarter, Carroll had 215 total yards to Denison's 77. Now, they did have the ball one more possession than what the Yellow Jackets had, and they scored on all 3 of theirs. Denison was 1 for 2 on their drives in the first quarter.
Yellow Jackets come out of the one-back set. Tight look to the right, 2 receivers on that side, 1 left. Crawley in the shotgun on first down. Hands it off to Robertson. Robertson looking for daylight. Breaks a shoestring tackle attempt at the 37 and squibs his way up to the 39-yard line. So a gain of about 3 yards on first down. Adam Hansen on the tackle for the Carroll Dragons. 11:21 to go in the first half. 17-7. Southlake leading Denison.
Here's a streak for you. Every time Corey Robertson has scored for the Yellow Jackets, they have won. Now, obviously, Corey Robertson has scored tonight.
Power right, 2 tight set. Robertson gets the toss right, gets to the 40, breaks the tackle. 45, 50, he could be gone to the 40, 35, 30, a man to beat to the 20, 15, and dragged down at the 10-yard line. Corey Robertson takes it from the 39 to the 9-yard line. Michael Agnew gets the angle and saves the touchdown.
Oh, Lynn, he busted a guy at the 45, thought he was wrapped up, and just bulldozed right over him.
54 yards on the scamper for C-Rob 2.
Oh, it was tremendous. It was a tremendous run by Corey Robertson.
They're going to say he actually made it to the 7-yard line. Agnew had the angle and pinched him to the sideline and saved the touchdown. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 7. This is going to be a toss to new tailback Hines in there. Flag on the play as Hines got to the 5, and it was the back judge that threw the hanky. So that's probably going to be against the Yellow Jackets. Let's check down with our Bratcher Home Funeral sideline man.
Yeah, guys, that is going to be a hold against Denison right in the middle of the pile. It's going to back him up 5 yards.
Well,
10 yards, excuse me, 10 yards.
10 yards, not what Coach Brown's looking for there. When you get into great scoring opportunity, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot.
Corey Robertson, 6 carries over the 100-yard mark, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. Nearly got number 2 there. The Yellow Jackets, though, get the hanky for the first time tonight. Coming into the game, Denison 5 penalties per game for 37 yards. They get their first tonight. It is costly, as what it would have been 2nd and goal at the 5 turns into 1st and goal back to the 17-yard line. 10:36 to go in the half, 17-7. The Carroll Dragons leading. And this is going to be a toss to Anthony Hines. He's going to throw, has a man on the corner. It's at the 11-yard line. It is going to be caught. A reception made by the Yellow Jackets tight end, Josh Vaughn. And they'll get back to the 11-yard line. Sets up 2nd down and goal from the 11.
Well, I think anytime, you'll see that a lot this year. When you get down around that goal line, you can almost call it the Josh Vaughn end zone.
Corey Robertson has checked out of the ball game as Hines, 27, gets the tailback duty here down deep. 2nd and goal from the 11. I look for the Yellow Jackets. 2 tight set, a receiver to the near side. Crawley calls for the ball. He's going to hand it off on the tight end reverse. Vaughn tries to shed a tackler at the 10, lowers his shoulder, and gets near the original line of scrimmage. He's run out of bounds at the 6-yard line. So 3rd down and goal coming up from the 6, and a very key play for the Yellow Jackets with 10:18 to go in the first half. Already down 17-7, but trying to draw back a little bit tighter.
You know, and I didn't catch the number on the far sideline. It was a great block right about the 10-yard line, which sprung Vaughn for a few more yards. But if he could have held that block for a few more seconds, it would have sprung him to the end zone because the defender was able to knock off of that block and still stay on his feet and kind of push him out a little bit.
Toss to the right, Hines to the 5, he sprints to the pylon, stick it in the end zone, put it on the scoreboard. Anthony Hines, 27, takes it in for the touchdown, and Denison has scored from 5 yards out as Anthony Hines gets his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Corey Robertson got him down deep. Anthony Hines finishes it off as Denison has pulled to a 17-13 deficit with 10:13 left in the first half. Matt Fink in the swinging gate. They thought about the 2-point conversion for just a second as Farley now will set. And now Fink calls for the football. Jeremy Grimes to snap it. Good snap, good hold, and Farley's kick is on the way. And once again, the kickers have been perfect tonight. 10:13 to go in the first half of play. And the Denison Yellow Jackets have closed the gap, 17-14. The Yellow Jackets trail the Carroll Dragons. We're back after this 60-second timeout. kickoff is going to be muffed by the up man on the squibber, but he breaks through a seam at the 38 and squirts his way up to the 42-yard line. He got the home crowd going. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. Jason, a little bit of concern on that far sideline because somebody that's pretty important was in a little pain.
Everybody had bated breath after that long run by Robertson. When he was dragged down from the backside, the defender had hit Robertson's ankle against the defender's knee. He was out in pretty intense pain for a little bit. Doc rubs it for about 5 minutes there on his ankle, and then he jumps up and starts doing jumping jacks, and he's back on the field.
Yeah, and he's back quarterbacking the defensive secondary as Daniel sets up at the 40-yard line, 382 yards of offense so far. Luna's going to add to that total as he runs into a pile of yellow jerseys, and the big beefy front for Southlake tries to push the yellow jerseys back. It's going to be a gain of about 3 for Luna, and it was a tackle by a host of Yellow Jackets. And let's see who the last man off the bottom of the pile is.
Bill Bates.
And Kyle Richardson also coming out of the stack. So it's going to be second down, a long 6 to go for the Carroll Dragons. We have seen offense, and more offense tonight. And Corey Robertson approaching the 200-yard mark already after 2 big runs on the evening, and we're still 9:32 to go in the first half. Daniel in the shotgun, hands it off, fakes it to Luna. No, he does hand it off to Luna. Luna tracked down from behind, but not before he gets the first down yardage, crosses the Yellow Jacket 45 and gets to the 44, and that's going to be about a half yard more than they need.
Boy, they can just really pound that football with that huge offensive line. They have no problems. Luna comes in at 200 pounds is what he's shows on the stat sheet, but I tell you what, he can move.
He can certainly move, and Chase Daniel doing a good job of running the offense. By far his best game of the season, and we'll talk a little bit about his numbers. Calls for the ball, going to keep it on the quarterback or keeper. Tries to skitterbug his way to some daylight as everything shut down in front of him, and he got maybe a yard before it all crashed down, and it looks like Marcus Davis on the corner forced him inside, and I believe Mario Polk and Anthony Hines combining on the stop. It's going to be second down and 8 for Chad Daniel and the Southlake offense.
Ball resting in between the 41 and the 42-yard line. Spread offense, 2 slot backs, 2 wide receivers, and a 1-back set in the shotgun.
8:35 and counting in the first, 17-14 Southlake. This is the quick hitter outside, and Jacobson's going to catch it at the 41, and he is going to a nice job of the Yellow Jacket linebacker playing out in pass coverage. That's Nathan Farley. Tangled him up, kept him from getting his lane back to the inside, forced him back outside, and knocked his feet out. It's going to be third down and about 4 for the Southlake Dragons. McKay Jacobson, the 5'10", 170 sophomore, so they're just reloading here at Southlake Carroll.
Yeah, and I think the freshman team from the Yellow Jackets got a whiff of what Carroll is coming up with as well, as they had 180, I think, kids try out for football this year. So,
of course, this is 5A versus 4A.
It is true.
I don't think you're going to see Coach Brown reschedule Todd Dodge.
I doubt it.
And the Dragons. Daniel back to pass, wants to throw the home run ball, has a man open. It is a Carroll near touchdown, and he drops it in the end zone. Gary Richardson had beat Marcus Davis at the 5, hit him in the worst place possible in his hands, and he juggles it but cannot hold on, and the crowd groans. And the Yellow Jackets breathe a sigh of relief with 7:41 to go.
Well, Marcus Davis got turned around about the 5-yard line, turned around looking for the ball, could never find it. Meanwhile, the receiver had a couple of steps on him and just simply dropped it. Now, this could easily be in Garrett Hartley's range as the ball is resting at the 37-yard line, as they could kick the field goal, but right here looks like they're going to go for it in their 1-back set.
Yeah, we certainly saw Hartley booting them from this distance, but 4th down and 4. Daniel back to pass. Here comes pressure. He eludes it. The blitz coming. He looks to throw on the run, throws it downfield, has a man, but it's out of bounds, and Denison has held the Dragons.
Well, if the ball was thrown a little bit out of bounds, I don't think it was catchable. Corey Robertson was right there running stride for stride with the receiver. Great pressure coming from Nathan Farley up through the middle on the blitz, and the Jackets hold the Dragons on a huge stop there, only down by 3. 7 minutes, 33 seconds to go before half. Carroll on top, 17-14 here at Dragon Stadium in Southlake.
Well, 2 drives for the Carroll Dragons to start the game, 2 touchdowns, and the Yellow Jackets scratching their heads. But the past 2 drives, a 32-yard field goal from Garrett Hartley, and a 4th down miss for the Dragons, and Denison 3 points out of the lead with the ball at their own 36. Crawley from the shotgun swings it out to Hines. Hines at the 35 up to the 41-yard line, and it'll be a gain of 3. They'll actually say he stepped on the out-of-bounds marker at the 40. So Corey Robertson not in the ball game. He did play defensive duty. Remember, he banged up his ankle on that long run, so we'll see if he comes back and gets double duty tonight. Hines is going to stay in the ball game for the Yellow Jackets. Corey Robertson approaching the 200-yard mark in yardage yet again in the first half. 7:02 to go, 17-14 Carroll. Crawley from the shotgun. Hines flanks him left. 2 receivers left, 1 right on 2nd down and 7. This is going to be a handoff. Hines trying to break tacklers. Can't do it. Goes down to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and long coming up.
Nice job by the Carroll defense, really swarming to the football. Hines made 1 step on the counter, tried to make a move back across the center, and could not. The Dragons were right there to stop him right at the line of scrimmage, maybe even a loss of about a foot or so.
Corey Robertson strapping the chin strap, wanting to get back in the contest, but Coach Bob Brown says not yet. 3rd down and 8. The ball at the Denison 39-yard line, 6:21 and counting in the first half. 17-14, the Carroll Dragons in the lead. Power eye, 2 tight set. Now the Jackets will break the power. It'll be a tight look to the left, and this is going to be Crawley. Back to pass, throws, has a man, and he threw it right behind him. Or it would have been a completion, could have been a big completion. It was Carrionzo Harris.
Yeah, I believe it was Carrionzo Harris out there on the far side trying to come back. Denison, of course, moving right to left now, 2nd quarter. And he was on the far side trying to look back at Crawley's pass, but it was a little bit errant and out of bounds.
So the Carroll Dragons stopped the Yellow Jackets after turning it over on downs. Back deep for the Dragons for this punt return will be McKay Jacobson as Josh Vaughn stands at the 25-yard line. Vaughn 1 punt already tonight, and now he gets another opportunity. Here comes a little token pressure. He gets away a wobbly kick, but it's a long kick. Jacobson calls for the fair catch, makes it at the 26-yard line, 27 actually. And that's where the Dragons will start with a new set of downs. 6 minutes even left in the first half. 17-14, Carroll over Denison. And let's check down after that 34-yard punt with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. Corey Robertson eager to get back in the game. Is he going to play some offense again tonight?
He is eager to get back in the game, and yes, he will play some more offense. The coach is just wanting to hold him out 1 more series to make sure that that ankle is fine.
Only 6 minutes to go before the Grace Credit Jewelers halftime show. Carroll on top 17-14. Robertson is in the ball game at safety right now against this 1-back set of Carroll.
Daniel in the shotgun. He's going to keep it on the quarterback draw. Break. No, he does. He breaks Vinny Rhodes' attempt to tackle. He breaks a couple of more attempts and gets all the way out to the 50. Chase Daniel, a tough customer to bring down. He was caught at the 28 as Vinny Rhodes got a hold of Jersey, and he broke free, broke another couple of tackles at the 35, and goes all the way out into Denison territory at the 49.
Yeah, there's another guy who kind of reminds me of that run Chase Daniels just made. His name was Patrick Hagan from a year ago, and looking very similar on that play there, breaking tackles and making a nice run.
Very big chance if Denison can stop Carroll here from putting more points on the board. Remember, Denison can get the ball first in the second half. This is Daniel back to pass. Pressure comes, steps up, throws. It's going to be almost caught, almost a great grab, a one-handed grab by Gary Richardson as Marcus Davis tried to cut in front of him at the last second, and Richardson reached up with the right paw, knocked the momentum of the football down, tried to haul it in, couldn't do it. It's incomplete.
Yeah, and he really did have a couple of steps on Davis. He was trying to run stride for stride with him, but you're right. When he tried to make that inside cut, if the ball would have been on the money, that would have been 6.
We've had at least 1 drop touchdown pass tonight, and you know what? It was Gary Richardson who dropped it. He was trying to make amends right there. This is going to be 2nd down. Daniel on the quarterback keeper. Up the middle, has plenty of room. Has another Carroll first down to the 39 of Denison.
Going to take him down inside the 40-yard line, marking him at about the 38. Now I think they'll say, and I'll tell you what, if you remember Patrick Hagan, that's exactly what this kid looks like. Chase Daniel, as he takes off out of that quarterback position, even wears the number 4, looks a lot like Hagan.
Vinny Rhodes stepping off the field to catch a breather on 1st down and 10. The ball at the Denison 38-yard line is where the officials will mark it. And this is Daniel. He's going to hand it off to Luna. Luna running up the middle, hit from behind, but he's going to gain 3 yards on first down, sets up 2nd down and 7, I believe.
Extracurricular activity going on down here by Richardson, the wide receiver, and Marcus Davis. Both of them kind of getting into it a little bit. No flags were thrown, but both were rolling on the ground a little bit.
Remind you of our officiating crew tonight out of the Dallas chapter, our referee Thomas Buford and his umpire Steve Mulligan, Bealey Hancock, the head linesman, John Muse, the line judge, and Ricky Herron, the back judge. Again, all of these gentlemen out of the Dallas chapter. 2nd and 7 at the Yellow Jacket 35 as the Dragons try to keep the offense going. This is Daniel, back to pass, throws, has a man, and it was the great out route to Richardson, and it was just perfectly executed.
And that time Richardson gets it up on Davis once again. I think he actually kept both feet in bounds. Of course, in high school you only have to have one, but he did the old two-step down the sideline and made the catch down at the 25-yard line. Mario Polk was the man in coverage.
Mario Polk, the linebacker, came over, and again, you're going to see a lot of linebackers in coverage tonight because of this one-back, four-wide out look that the Dragons run on every play. Luna gets it inside, runs left, and cuts it back up the middle, and gets to the 19-yard line on first down before he stops, so he picks up 5. And the Yellow Jackets just simply having all kinds of trouble matching the Carroll offensive front. Denison doing a good job to be in the ball game, and they are, in fact, very much in this game with 4:07 to go in the first half. Only trailing 17-14, but the Carroll Dragons have moved it every time they've had the ball.
Boy, they are a good football team. They can run it, they can throw it, they can do just about anything you ask of a football team. And, you know, you can tell these guys were Class 5A state champions last year. They are a pretty good football team.
I think you could even say a very good football team. Daniel, he's going to swing it out, has a man caught at the 20, and it's going to be Jacobson, cuts it inside to the 10. He might have lost the football. There is a penalty flag. 2 of them go down. Could be a face mask coming up against the Yellow Jackets.
Well, it's going to be within the 10-yard line at about the 8 is where he finally went down. Corey Robertson was the man who finally brought him down, and I believe it is going to be a personal foul. Face mask. Well, they're still talking about it. So
let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home man. Did you get a good look, Jason?
The far side of the field, away from the play, and I couldn't tell exactly what it was.
Well, they're still talking there, and a lot of the Yellow Jackets are still wondering what's going on. Of course, they're still down around the 8-yard line, so I don't know exactly what the call will be. We'll find out in just a moment. And now the referee comes over and talks to Todd Dodge, the head coach of the Carroll Dragons, explaining what the call is to him. Now it's a dead ball personal foul against the Carroll Dragons. A player is ejected.
Yeah.
And a player for Denison is ejected. So 2 players have been ejected from this football game. And I believe it was Henderson.
Gary
Richardson actually on this end. He and Marcus Davis were wrestling around earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly if it's Marcus Davis for the Yellow Jackets or not. We'll check down with the Bratcher Funeral Home sideline guy. Jason,
yes.
Did you see?
Yes, it is Marcus Davis.
Okay, so they were in some extracurricular activity before, and I guess finally the referee had enough.
Matt Fink is going to get the call. The 5'7", 150-pound junior is going to be called on to replace Marcus Davis. And if you missed all of that, offsetting penalties, 2 dead ball personal fouls as the ball was completed down to the 8-yard line. Gary Richardson, the 6'2", 185-pound senior Z receiver for the Carroll Dragons, tossed out of the ball game, but so was 5'9", 160 senior Marcus Davis, the Yellow Jacket left corner. As a little too much pushing, shoving, and magic words probably going on in there. Whatever the reason, both of them got the immediate heave-ho from the referee, Thomas Buford. And it sets the Carroll Dragons up with 3:37 to go in the half. First down and goal from the Yellow Jacket 8-yard line. Well, the Jackets came up with a big stop a few moments ago, and they're going to need one here. First and goal from the 8. Handoff Luna running straight ahead. Breaks the tackles, gets near the 1-yard line. Yeah. Just simply running behind the offensive front. And, you know, the old Wendy's commercial, where's the beef? I think we found it.
Yeah, it is in Southlake. The beef is on that offensive line, and boy, they can just move that pile. They are so big.
Second and goal from the 2. 3:08 and counting. The Jackets trying to plug the gaps. Luna is going to break tackles, and he's in the end zone. So the Southlake Carroll Dragons went 2 drives without a touchdown. They find their way back into the end zone with 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the first half. And they'll take a 23-14 lead over the Yellow Jackets. The big story on that drive, in addition to the touchdown by Aaron Luna, his first of the night, is the ejection of the Yellow Jacket left corner, Marcus Davis, and the starting wideout, Gary Richardson, for the Carroll Dragons. So 2 starters get the old heave-ho with less than 4 minutes to go in the first half. And this is Hartley on for the PAT. And he is going to put the foot into this one, and it is a high kick. And it is going to go through the uprights, and with 3:02 to go, 24-14, as the Dragons open up a 10-point lead on the Yellow Jackets. Yet again, we're back on 93.1 FM after this timeout. Hartley's going to bang the Cable One kickoff deep into the end zone. Anthony Hines is going to go 7 yards back and comes out. 5, 10, 15. He's out to the 20 and tight ropes his way to the 23-yard line. So he got 3 more yards than he would have if he'd gone to the knee. Anytime you see the ball sail 7 yards deep, most of the time the coaches are going to take it go to the knee, but Hines elected to bring it out that time, and that's where the Yellow Jackets start, 1st and 10.
Well, if you have shock and awe, maybe you can take the distance and take the gamble and see if you can take it the whole way.
Well, they're going to say he tight-roped a couple of yards beyond where I thought he stepped out, the 25-yard line. Corey Robertson, after a little pain in the ankle after getting hit there, he's back in the ball game as the Yellow Jacket tailback. Be nice to see him take it 75 here. 9 men in the box for Carroll. This is Scooter Means. Gets the toss, heads right, tried to cut it back to the inside. Might have lost the ball. There's a scramble, but he did not as he holds on to it as he went right into the heart of the Carroll defense for a couple of tough yards. And, Scooter Means came into the game tonight, Monte, with 164 yards rushing. He's turned into a pretty efficient little fullback for the Yellow Jackets.
I do believe Scooter means business in 2003.
Had to give you an opportunity to get that in.
Hey, that was a gain of about 2 yards. And, Carroll, you were right a minute ago. They are putting 9, 10 men in the box.
Corey Robertson gets the toss, heads right, has his feet taken out from under him at the line of scrimmage, and he picks up a couple of yards. Robertson on the night has 7 carries, 115 yards. I was trying to give him a lot more yardage than he has. I thought that our statistician, the Wizard, had not added that 47-yard run. But, of course, alas, he had. So it's 7 carries for 117 yards, 2:14 to go in the half. Timeout, 24-14, Carroll in the lead. We're back on Katy Country after this Yellow Jacket timeout. They're down at 5. This is Crawley. Play action, wants to throw. He throws. He was looking for the home run, the skinny post. His receiver did not cut to the interior of the field, and it will fall incomplete. Chad Roberts, the intended receiver. Roberts running the sideline route. It was Chad Price, rather. Price running the sideline route. Crawley through the skinny post up the middle of the field, and there was just simply some miscommunication, and it's 4th down.
Carroll is basically daring the Yellow Jackets to throw the football. They're putting all those guys in the box and saying, okay, if you want to go on us, you're going to have to throw the football, and they tried on that play.
Jacobson back at the 38. Vaughn standing at the 15. Here comes the Carroll rush, and it's going to be a wobbly high kick. Jacobson calls for he makes the grab, and he's going to be driven backwards, and he'll lose on the return. As I believe that was that Hines? It was Chad Roberts there on the stop, and he drove Jacobson back 3 yards after the punt from Josh Vaughn, and give Vaughn credit on the long hang time right there.
Yeah, it was a nice punt by Vaughn and even greater coverage by Chad Roberts. Nice right there as soon as he caught the ball. Nailed him right at the 35-yard line.
2:01 to go, and obviously the Yellow Jackets really need to stop the Dragons here. We have not really talked about this an awful lot tonight. Denison came in with an astounding +9 turnover ratio. That means they've got 9 more takeaways than they do turnovers themselves. But so far tonight, no turnovers by either team, and the Carroll Dragons lead 24-14. Daniel back to pass, throws, has a man. It is going to be caught, quickly tackled, however, is going to be the receiver, and that's going to be Drew Williamson, the 6'2", 185-pound senior.
Nathan Farley and Kyle Richards in combo to make the stop there at the 45-yard line. They're going to call it a 1st down. I thought he was a yard short, but they gave a generous spot out to the 45.
Daniel in the shotgun, flanked by Luna. The official's going to stop everything. And now he's going to wind the clock. 17 first downs already for the Dragons. Daniel back to pass, has time, completes it. He's got a man trying to break tackles. Look out. He's to the 40, 35, running down the sideline and knocked out of bounds is McKay Jacobson, and he mocks Robertson and says, "Is that all you've got?"
Robertson really laid the boom on him, but McKay didn't go very far. McKay Jacobson just kind of stood there. Robertson really ran right over him, but Robertson's the guy who went down.
Well, the Jackets are unable to get any pressure on Chase Daniel. And again, we keep talking about it, but a massive mismatch between the offensive front of Carroll and the defensive front of Denison. This is going to be Daniel. He steps up out of the pocket to the 20, still going, looks for the sideline and has the first down as Robertson runs him out of bounds.
Well, it was Farley over there on the outside. It was the outside linebacker, read him out at the 15. You don't want to get in a vertical race with this defense because there's a lot of speed. Of course, Farley runs real well. Hines runs with 4.4 speed. You do not want to get in a vertical rundown with the Yellow Jackets.
1:31 to go in the half, and Denison just a moment ago on third down had an opportunity to convert, but Will Crawley and his receiver unable to hook up. And just like that, the Carroll Dragons have driven from the 34-yard line all the way down to the Denison 15. Denison has been really unable to find any answers defensively, and we hate to keep harping on it, but this big front just doing the damage tonight. This is a handoff. Luna runs right to the spot his center Jeremiah Jones occupied, found the seam to the right of his center's block, and he picks up 4 or 5 yards on first down, sets up second down and short at the 9. And, it's just simply, it comes down to this, Monte. If the Jackets can't come up with some ways to stop the Carroll offense, they're behind in the points race, and it's just going to keep getting more out of hand. Daniel is going to turn it inside, and he's going to be tackled for no gainer.
Well, the first guy on the play was Nathan Farley. Hit him right in the backfield. A lot of stunts going on by the outside backers. We're within a minute now before the Grays Credit Jewelers halftime show. Stay tuned. We have a great halftime show for you. Reggie Hunt, the Reaper. Jason Smith talks with him.
Carroll.
An awful lot.
Well, and they're also having to do a lot of pass coverage. Third down and long, the ball is thrown over the middle, and it falls incomplete, so it'll be fourth down.
It was an outside blitz against one more time by Farley, who knocked down Chase Daniel right about the 15 as he was about to throw the football. Robertson was in coverage, made a great play, but really give that play to Nathan Farley, who was on that blitz, putting pressure on the quarterback.
16 of 17 in the career of Garrett Hartley, the all-state kicker who has already committed to the University of Oklahoma. A 26-yard attempt would be his second field goal of the night, and he has plenty of distance if it's true, and the officials say it is. 42.8 seconds left in the first half, and the Carroll Dragons extend their lead to 13 points, 27 to 14. The Yellow Jackets trail. We're back after this timeout. Garrett Hartley on the Cable One kickoff. It's a banger that Corey Robertson's going to try to field it. The 5 does. Up to the 10, 15, looks for daylight to the 20, needs a block, 25 to the 30. If he can get around one more man, he had a chance to run a long way, but he can't do it. He was trying to cut back to the middle as Corey Robertson returns it from the 5 all the way out to the 32. And I'm telling you, you heard the home crowd sucking their breath because if he could have gotten around the corner, there was no one to stop him. He just couldn't quite get the burst of speed as he was looking for that final block.
Well, we all know Corey Robertson is not the fastest kid in the world. He doesn't have that great breakaway speed, but he has all the vision in the world as he tries to make those cutbacks, and he has enough speed to get there, but he doesn't have that burst.
Hudgens will split wide to the right. Kimbrell wide to the left. Scooter Means is going to plow his way for about 6 yards on first down with 31 seconds to go, and the Jackets may be content just to take it to the locker room. And, in fact, that looks to be the case as the clock continues to run at 18 seconds. Denison down 27-14 to the Southlake Carroll Dragons. And that's going to be the final play of the first half. The Jackets are going to let the clock run out, and the Carroll Dragons, well, they've proven why they won it all in Class 5A Division II last year. Denison has put up a good showing in the first half. They've got 14 points on the board. Corey Robertson already over the century mark. But the Carroll Dragons say, so what? We got 362 yards in the books of total offense and a 27-14 lead at halftime. We'll go back to the end zone. Shock and awe as Garrett Hartley's going to bang it, and Mr. Robertson's going to get to test the ankle out. He's going to come out from 5 yards deep, 5 up to the 10, finds a seam to the 20, 25, 30, and he's spun down at the 34-yard line, but there's going to be a blocking infraction, I believe, called against the Yellow Jackets' Matt Fink, and I think it's coming back.
Well, I'm not sure if it's against Matt Fink or not, but the flag is lying at the 17-yard line, and Robertson crossed and got up past the 30 to about the 35 before finally going down, but that will come back a little bit, and the Jackets will start not deep in their own territory, but out past the 20-yard line.
Well, Mr. C-Rob, too, showed no ill effects bursting out of the end zone on that one, and he would have had a 30-yard return were it not for the hanky. It's going to be a spot foul from the 17-yard line.
I think I said about the 20-yard line. They're going to move this way back to about the 8. Call it about in between the 7 and the 8-yard line is where they're going to spot the football.
Well, it could get real exciting for Yellow Jacket fans because the Carroll Dragons have been stacking 8, 9 guys in the box. And if number 42 could ever get off the line of scrimmage, he might be able to take it 92 to the house. We'll see. Jackets coming the 2 tight power eye set, break, receivers either side, and this is going to be a handoff. Scooter Means running off left tackle, breaking tackles out to the 14-yard line, and it'll be second down and about 4 yards to go, so a nice start to the second half for the Yellow Jackets as Scooter Means gets his best carry of the night. 7 yards for Scooter Means' business.
We'll see what the Jackets do here. Of course, they were starting in the 2 tight set, and that brings all the defense in. So what the Jackets might do is spread a twins look to the right side or left side, and that looks like what they're going to do here.
Robertson gets the toss, heads right, cuts right through the pile. Somebody from Southlake lost the hat as there's some serious slobber knocking going on in the interior, and Robertson gets the first down, I believe, as they're going to mark the ball out to the 18-yard line. It's going to be right on the marker.
Well, it's going to be very close, looks like. This one may, yeah, they are going to give it to him. So move the chains there. First down at about the 17, 18-yard line.
Referee Thomas Buford says, first down. Who was that, Red Cashin, who used to do that?
Yeah, I believe so. Now, let's see, here we go. We're going to have twins left now. That's going to bring the defense out where they can't put 10 men in the box.
Offset eye. Robertson gets the deep handoff, and he's trying to slip his way through some great penetration, can't do it, and he goes down for no gain and perhaps a loss. No, they're going to give him progress back to the line of scrimmage, and guess what? They're actually going to give him a foot of progress. And let's talk about one thing. He does not lose yardage.
Well, he's lost 2 yards tonight, and he came into the game with losing 5 yards on the season. So he is kind of like the Emmitt Smith, always getting positive yards, never losing yards.
Twins to the left, offset eye of Means and Robertson. And this is going to be a deep handoff. Robertson trying to get to the right, and he's going to lose yardage right there.
Well, it was busted on the right side. The 2 defensive tackles came right over, one of them being Jordan Gray, really busted through that right side of that line. Matt Smith over there being one of the guilty parties as Robertson was hit immediately by Gray.
Yeah, really didn't have a chance from the very get-go as Robertson was just simply trying to outrun people to the corner, and he couldn't outrun 3 green jerseys.
And
sets up a long 3rd and 11.
Just as we were talking about not losing yards, he does lose one there.
3rd and 11 from the shotgun. Twins right, 1 receiver left for the Jackets. Will Crawley calls for the ball. He's going to swing it out to Robertson, and he can't haul it in. It's incomplete, and it was almost intercepted as a green jersey made a quick cut on the ball, and actually, I believe, got a paw on the ball to knock it away.
Well, they're 3rd and 11. They tried to run the little swing pass to the far sideline, which they didn't have a lot of room to run in anyway, so a lot of the defenders were in that area. Crawley tried to make the perfect pass, and it was just a little bit errant.
Josh Vaughn has been called on several times tonight. He retreats to the 2. Jacobson standing at the midfield stripe. 9:26 to go in the 3rd here on Katy Country. Lynn, Burkead, and Monte Walker. And the Jackets' Josh Vaughn has to go up for it. He gets away a pretty good kick after the skyscraper job of going up with the ball. Takes a neutral roll at the 47, and it'll be killed at the 46-yard line. And so the Carroll Dragons, they almost start in scoring position, as we were talking about. Garrett Hartley, their All-State returning kicker. You know, and I don't know about this. The scouting report said returning All-State. When you're second-team All-State, I'm not sure that qualifies. Do you?
Well, this kid could qualify for All-American, All-World.
Well, I'm not arguing that.
This kid could kick for the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Certainly could, and we actually watched him hit one from 64 yards in pregame warm-ups. Chase Daniel and Luna back in the backfield, twins to both sides, and Daniel back to pass. Pressure comes, and Farley nearly gets him as he delivers the ball, and you can see that Daniel saw Bill Bates steaming untouched right toward his chin strap, and he unloaded the ball, and it was short, 2nd and 10. One of the few times tonight we've seen the pressure.
Yeah, and he really caused that errant throw there. Farley really coming in like gangbusters, trying to bust up something, and it was Kenton Gedwood as the intended receiver downfield, but the pass just didn't have a chance. Farley was in his face.
So Chase Daniel, for one of the few times tonight, misfires on a pass attempt. Calls for the ball, looks, he's going to throw it, swings it out. Jacobson has it to the 45-40, breaks a tackle, 35-30, stiff-arming his way inside the 20 and run out of bounds as Anthony Hines tracks him down at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to mark him down right at the 16. Nathan Farley on the near side was trying to fight through his blocker and did, but got turned around a little bit and would have made a nice play at about the 40-yard line, but could not get to the ball carrier in time.
We're going to chat with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man in just a moment. 9:01 to go in the third. 27-14, Carroll in the lead and threatening for more. The fourth-ranked team in Class 5A riding an 18-game winning streak after their run to the state title. Daniels bobbles the ball, but he recovers, throws it to the end zone, has a man wide open, and it's a touchdown. It is caught by Kenton Gedwood as he
ran kind of a fade route out towards the corner of the end zone. Brad Aday was in coverage, but he was all alone. Actually, Gedwood was probably 5 or 6 steps ahead of Aday. A nice timing route by Southlake Carroll from Chase Daniel to their fine receiver out there, Gedwood.
Well, it's the best performance of the season so far for Chase Daniel by far. We'll talk about that in just a few moments as Garrett Hartley comes on for a PAT. He's only missed one in his career, and he keeps that going as he nails another one, and it is now 34-14. The Carroll Dragons leading the Jackets by a pretty good margin. We're back after this timeout.
Yeah, this one was very short. 3 plays, 47 yards, took only 21 seconds off the clock. It was a Chase Daniels to Gedwood 16-yard strike, which brings our new score 34-14. Carroll on top.
Squib kick, the Jackets up men trying to recover it, and they have to fall on the ball at the 28-yard line. I believe that is Farley that fell on the football at the 29, and Denison starts with decent field position. It has just simply been a case that the Carroll offensive front, averaging nearly 270 pounds across the front, against a defensive front for Denison, missing one of its starters, averaging 203. It's just been a mismatch right there, and that's really, I think, the difference in the ball game, as the Jackets just have been unable to get penetration and stop the running game. And Denison trying to keep up in the points battle. This is a throw. It's going to be a completion after it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was deflected, and Micah Hudgens makes a nice grab. It's going to be a 7-yard gain, and so it'll be 2nd and short.
Yeah, Pete Fleps out there, the outside linebacker, made the little touch on the football, just tipped it up a little bit, but it still didn't deflect the ball enough to be caught. 2nd down and short, call it about 4.
23-0 is a score update. I can't tell you who's playing, but I'm not kidding. 500, 600, 700 yards to our south is Grapevine Mustang Stadium. And there's a game going on over there, either Grapevine or Colleyville. This is Robertson heading right, cutting a breaking tackle, 45-50, still going into Carroll territory, breaks a tackle, 45 to the 35-30, a foot race to the pylon, 15 to the 10 to the 5. Corey Robertson dives and goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Oh, he dove for the pylon. I thought he was going to get it. He tried to cut the corner on the inside, just really ran out of room, but what a nice run by Robertson. 64 yards. That's going to put him close to the 200-yard mark. He had 117 right before that. Wow.
Yeah, I'd like to have an ankle that was a little sprained to run like that.
Wow.
Corey Robertson electrifying this crowd. I'm going to tell you, there's a couple of streaks that are in serious jeopardy tonight, but You know, so what? The Yellow Jackets, we've told you, have not lost since 1989 when they rushed for over 200 yards. And Corey Robertson has single-handedly put them there. First and goal from the 1. This is going to be a toss. Robertson, and he sprints untouched to the end zone. Stick it in the end zone. Put it on the scoreboard. The junior tailback continues to wow everyone in North Texas as he gets his second rushing touchdown of the night and his 185th yard. He may get a 200-yard game against the defending 5A state champions. It might not be enough in the long run, but he's certainly impressing a lot of people with his play tonight. And Denison has cut the lead 34-20, 7:55 to go, and they'll line up for 1. Farley on for the PAT as Robertson strolled in literally untouched. Great job by Crawley to pitch it. And Farley keeps the kickers perfect tonight, and with 7:55 to go, it is not over yet, folks. If Denison can figure a way to stop Carroll, it's 34-21. Robertson off and running again. We're back after this timeout. The only question as we get ready for the Cable One kickoff is, can the Jackets come up with some defense the remainder of the way? 34-21 as it's going to be Jacobson taking the kick 15 up to the 25 and popped down hard to the turf at the 28-yard line. That's going to be Desmond Baker on the stop. Baker. And hey, I like this. How about an American Bank of Texas drive recap? A quick one coming the right direction.
Yeah, what you can do, Southlake. We can do, Yellow Jackets, and I don't want to say we, but the Yellow Jackets went 4 plays and 71 yards. Corey Robertson scored on a 1-yard touchdown, took 55 seconds off the clock. We now have a 34-21 advantage. Carroll over Denison, 7:50 left to go in the third quarter.
Have not seen a turnover yet, and boy, if the Jackets could get one here, wow, would that be huge. Daniel from the shotgun. Luna will flank him to the left. Daniel checking off at the line. Twins to either side. Calls for the ball, hands it off Luna. Luna running through a big hole, and he's going to, well, he gets a first down. He runs all the way out to the 41-yard line. And, hey, Jason Smith, our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man, what ankle?
Yeah, that's what I told Corey when he came off the field. I bumped him, and I said, what are you talking about, your ankle's hurt? And he just kind of laughed.
And he should. 12 carries, 185 yards, and 2 touchdowns tonight for the Yellow Jackets.
I know somebody who's not laughing, and that's the Carroll Dragons.
Nope, and they're right back at it on offense. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line as Daniel calls for the football. He's going to pass, going to swing it out. And oh! The ball might even be loose for a fumble. The Jackets pick it up and run it in. Let's see what the official indication is. They're going to wave it incomplete, and here's the Farley laid a tremendous lick on the receiver, and the question was, ladies and gentlemen, was whether or not it was a forward pass or a lateral. If it's a lateral, that's a fumble and a returnable ball to the end zone, and the official said no, it was barely a forward pass.
You only get, I don't understand. There's a reason that you have a nickname of Bill Bates. There is a reason that you earned that nickname, and my goodness, McKay Jacobson is knocked into next week by Nathan Farley.
He's a sophomore. Welcome to the big leagues, and Aaron Luna is gonna. He's gonna welcome the Jackets back to reality as he picks up 11 yards, and it's yet another Carroll first down. And, there are 2 streaks in serious jeopardy right now. The first is something we talked about. If Denison rushes for 200, it's automatic they win. You got to go all the way back to 1989 against Everman to find a time when Denison has rushed for 200 yards or more and lost a game. And that streak is in serious jeopardy tonight. You've also got to go a few games back when Corey Robertson scores. Usually the Jackets win. Incomplete pass. The home crowd wants the flag. The official says the ball was not catchable. No flag as Chad Ade was back in coverage.
No, there was accidental contact by Anthony Hines. He was right there about the 20-yard line, and I think they got their midsections crossed up, and they actually bumped a little bit, but the ball was way overthrown. Not a chance to be caught.
6:59 to go in the third period of play. 34-21. Carroll, everything as advertised, with the Jackets giving them more of a tussle than many people thought they would. Daniels on 2nd and 10. He's going to keep it himself. Runs to daylight. He's to the 45. Look out, 40 to the 35, 30. He's got a man to beat, and he's going to lower the shoulder and go out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And the man that saved the tackle on the corner was Brad A'Day that time. He fought his block off downfield by the receiver, and he kept the quarterback, Chase Daniel, from going into the end zone. But yet again, the Carroll Dragons, well, they're right back in the red zone, and man, they are an offensive juggernaut.
What a play call that was. All the way, it was kind of the naked bootleg type of play where he runs to the far sideline. He was all alone, had that whole wall sealed off. A'Day was the only guy there who could possibly save the touchdown, and thank goodness it was a nice open field tackle.
Daniel's going to hand it off to Luna, running straight ahead, dragging Jesse Dixon inside the 10-yard line down to the 7, or actually to the 8-yard line. And, well, it's just simply a case, again, and we hate to keep harping on it, but it's just simply a case the Jackets have been unable to dial up any answers on that massive offensive front. I'm going to tell you what, if Denison could have stopped Carroll, could have matched Carroll tonight, and it's not over yet, but if they could have matched Carroll on the offensive front, they could have won this football game. But
like you said, it's not over yet.
It's right now it's a bunch of beef, and Chase Daniel throws, protected by the beef, and hauling it in. Drew Williamson, another touchdown, but Farley has popped Luna, and Luna rolling in pain. It's a touchdown from Chase Daniel to Drew Williamson as the beef gave him plenty of time again, but Luna took the shot from Farley, and he's gingerly coming off the field. But it's now 40-21, the Carroll Dragons in the lead, with 6 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the third quarter. That's right. We've got 61 points on the board, and we still got a long way to play. Hartley has kept the kickers true tonight, and with 6:06 to go, 41-21, a 20-point lead again for the Carroll Dragons. Don't go anywhere. The Yellow Jackets, Corey Robertson and company, will try to answer when we come back after this 60-second timeout.
When Daniel to Williamson, a 9-yard strike, 41-21, our new score. That was 7 plays, 71 yards, took a minute 49 off the clock.
Well, they're not going to kick it deep any longer. They're going to squib it, and it's going to be a Yellow Jacket up man up to the 30. Still going.
That's Farley.
Still going. Farley, guess who? Nathan Farley out to the 35. I tell you what, he is an entertaining young man to watch. Well, the record watch is on, ladies and gentlemen. 12 carries, 185 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Corey Robertson. If Corey Robertson gets 15 yards the remainder of the way, he will set the all-time school record at Denison High School for career 200-yard rushing games, and he's got a long time to play. And he will get his third 200-yard effort of the season if he can get 15 more yards. He's going to get a chance here, and he'll pick up about 3 yards, 2, maybe 3 yards, as he closes in on Denison High School history.
Well, he's already passed Antoine Johnson tonight on the career rushing mark, moving into 8th. And he is about 40 yards away from moving past DeJuan Gentry on the list.
Absolutely unbelievable numbers. Corey Robertson right now, not even in the fourth quarter of the fourth game of the season, has 854 yards rushing in 2003. He's dotting the I in an offset formation. It's going to be Scooter Means getting the call on this one, though, and Means is going to lose a yard back to the 36-yard line.
Well, that's the inside trap play. The Means kind of keeping them off balance to where they don't focus on Robertson every play. Here's going to bring up another 3rd and long, 3rd and 9, and we'll see if the Jackets elect to throw it. Last time they were in this position, they threw the swing pass out to Robertson in the flat on the short side of the field. We'll see what they do here.
Corey Robertson at 187 yards and counting. Offset I, and he'll get the toss. Heading right, tries to get outside. He'll cut it back into daylight to the 40. He will not get the first down, but he's going to get all the way to the 41-yard line, so he's going to pick up 5 more yards and goes to 192. Corey Robertson 8 yards away from setting the Denison High School career record for 200-yard games. That is absolutely unbelievable. Aaron Jackson, the great AJ, back in 1985, who led Denison to the quarterfinals against Austin Westlake, owned the career record until this season, and Corey Robertson has tied him at 5 games and he's only 8 yards shy of Denison High School history. He won't get it on this series, however. 4th and 3, and Josh Vaughn will punt the football standing at his 26-yard line, and Jacobson back at the 30-yard line. High snap, but Vaughn hauls it in, nearly has it blocked, had to hurry. It is a high end-over-end kick that's going to go out of bounds about the 47-yard line, and Vaughn did a nice job. Somebody let Cameron Parker come up the gut, and Parker nearly got there in time. Vaughn had to go upstairs to get the snap from Jeremy Grimes, and Vaughn, he's not going to get the credit on the punt, but he did a fine job in just simply getting the football away.
3:50 left to go, third quarter, 41-21. Carroll Dragons on top, still in their wide open offense, a slot running shoot kind of Houston Cougar look of the 80s.
Luna and Daniel still in the ballgame, 41-21, and it's going to be Luna getting the call on the handoff, comes up the middle. It's a different running back. Check that. It's going to be Joe Troop in the ballgame as the running back.
I think you could probably put any one of your running backs in behind that offensive line and be able to gain 6, 7, 8 yards.
Yeah, he got 8 on that one, and Kevin Farr, the Wizard, mentioning in the headset that Luna is probably still counting stars over here on the near sideline after he got lit up by Nathan Farley on the previous series. It's going to be 2nd and short. Daniel busted play coming near side, trying to find a seam, and he's going to be corralled from behind. Lost his helmet at the 42-yard line, and there is a penalty marker laying there. They're going to probably call face mask.
Well, I don't know that he had his face mask. Josh Vaughn wrapped his arms around the head of the quarterback, Chase Daniel, and his helmet simply came off. I don't think he had a hold of his face mask at all, but they are going to call that against Denison. His whole entire helmet came off. You remember the NFC Championship back in 1992 when the Cowboys were playing the 49ers, and Steve Young's helmet came completely off.
That's exactly what it looked like.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Hey, and speaking of the Cowboys, how about Quincy Carter? For all of the criticism that the Q has taken, I got to tell you, he looked like, I asked somebody the other day, I said, how did they get Roger Staubach in Quincy Carter's body in 1 week?
Wait a minute.
He looked pretty good Monday night, and it's at least good to see the Bill Parcells era get win number 1. And you know what? I still think he's going to turn it around eventually for the big boys from Big D. Well, the big boys from Southlake knocking on the door once again after that 15-yard mark-off at the 26. And Daniel, showing no ill effect, launches the bomb downfield to the end zone. Flag in the end zone. They're going to call interference.
Brad Aday was the guy right there in position to make the play. I thought he had gone up and really knocked the ball away, but he was over the back of the receiver.
Let's check now with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. The coaches on your side not too happy.
Well, that was right in front of me. That was the worst officiating call I've ever seen in my life. Offensive interference, if it was to even be a call, as that kid had his arm back behind him, pushing A-Day off the whole time.
Well, the officials are talking about it, and it's gonna be against the Yellow Jackets, no doubt about that. I'm pretty sure. Yellow Jackets just have not been able to come up with any answers tonight to stop the Carroll offense. And, you know, if you're consternated about that back in Grayson County, I want to tell you, folks, watch the Cable One replay this week. You're not going to see a finer offensive front than the Carroll Dragons have anywhere in high school football. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of small colleges and JUCOs tomorrow would give a whole lot to have that offensive line leading the way. This is going to be Daniel, hands it off. Troop, the new tailback, in for the injured Luna, and he's going to plow inside the 10 to go about the 8-yard line. Farley was coming on the looping blitz as he circled around from the outside.
Boy, that's something you can probably see a lot of in future references, as Farley coming on that blitz. Wow, I mean, he'll just come with all hammers coming right at you.
Well, the Carroll Dragons are threatening once again inside the 10-yard line. 2nd and 6 from the 7. Up 41-21. Daniel, he's going to throw to the corner. There's a lot of bumping and grinding going on, and Brad Aday wins the battle in the corner of the end zone as he took his receiver that he was covering, Drew Williamson, back to the pylon, did not let him get the superior position, and Williamson could not adjust to the ball.
Yeah, and Aday was right there. They ran that fade route again, and it was Gedwit, actually, the wide receiver on that play. Ran that fade route in the corner. Aday had nice coverage, though.
3rd down and 6, almost 7. The ball at the 8-yard line. Chase Daniel flanked by Joe Troop in for Luna. This is Daniel back to pass. Here comes pressure. Hit as he throws. It is incomplete in the end zone.
And guess who the pressure came from?
Farley leveled Daniel as he unloaded the football on the blind side blitz. So they're turning Nathan Farley loose on every play.
I think I'd turn Bill Bates loose on every play as well.
Garrett Hartley on for another field goal. If he connects, it'll be his 3rd of the night. And we've told you this several times, but you're going to see this kid kick a long time in the future. I'm going to tell you right now, he is an NFL kicker.
I think Jason Elam suited up for Southlake tonight.
Garrett Hartley blows this one right down the middle. And with 2:16 to go, the Carroll Dragons don't get in the end zone, but they do get on the scoreboard. Our new score, 44-21. We're back after this timeout. Well, the Carroll Dragons have proved an unanswerable question for the Yellow Jacket defense so far, but Corey Robertson's proved to be a pretty unanswerable question for the Carroll Dragons, and he's going to get a chance to return this Cable One kickoff. He's going to go back 9 yards deep, thinks about it, thought about it, and then went to the knee.
Wouldn't that have been something?
2:13 left in the 3rd, and here's an American Bank of Texas drive recap.
Well, this one actually is a little bit longer than the rest of them. We'll say 6 plays. And the drive started at the 47-yard line, ended at the 8 on a 25-yard field goal by Garrett Hartley. Our new score, 44-21. Carroll on top, 2:13 left to go, 3rd quarter. It has not been the route that it sounds like, 44-21, because the Jackets have been in it the entire game.
8 yards to history for Corey Robertson. If he gets 8 more yards, he will set the Denison career record. He's got the handoff, 20, up to the 23-yard line. Or 22 rather, and he'll be 6 yards shy. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, Corey Robertson has 5 200-yard games in his career, rushing for 200 or more in only his 13th start, and he now has 194 yards against the defending Class 5A state champs.
Let me tell you this, coming into the game tonight, he had more 200-yard games than 100-yard games.
6 yards to count for Mr. C-Rob, too. He's going to get a deep handoff, and he's going to break tackles out near the 25. The ball might have popped loose. It did at the 24. A scramble for the football. He was fighting for extra yardage. I think Denison got back on it, and they did. And so Robertson will get credit, I believe, for 2 yards. And so he is actually, they're going to spot it at the 25, and he got to the 24 before he fumbled. Does he get credit to the 25? He does.
Yes.
So he's now 3 yards from owning school history with a whole lot more starts to go. I'm telling you, the kid can play.
Well, it's amazing that he is this offensive line, and he and Scooter Means have been able to do this against a 5A team with the beef that they have.
Will Crawley in the shotgun, low snap. He's back, wants to set the screen up. He throws it over the middle, and Robertson had it in traffic. But the Dragons had that one sniffed out, and they stopped Robertson for a 2-yard loss as Crawley's pummeled to the turf. And once again, Josh Vaughn is going to have to punt the football away with 44 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter and the clock running. It's 44-21, so the Carroll Dragons certainly have what they had last year offensively, but Denison has piled on some yardage themselves. We're heading to Jacket quarter. The Jackets have a long way to go and a short time to get there, but Denison has put up a good fight tonight no matter what happens against a 18-game winning streak Class 5A Division II champ Carroll Dragons. And I think the Jackets are serving notice tonight in Class 4A. Look out. Josh Vaughn gets away. A beauty! He gets away his best punt of the night, drives Jacobson back to the 30-yard line, eludes tacklers, and look out. He's got room to run. He's to the 50, 45, to the 40. He's going to go down the sideline, cuts it inside, still going, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I believe it was Micah Hudgens finally pushed him out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, and it was a great return.
You know what that was? Josh Vaughn got away such an outstanding punt, he outkicked his coverage.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit. That it's one of those things where you get off a great punt like that, and you got to set, and they were able to set that wall up ahead of time.
That's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We're back at Dragon Stadium, and we're going to give a trivia question here, Monte.
Well, let's do this real quick. Cotton Patch is providing the meals for this. Marcus Davis already has 3 interceptions. Of course, he's not in the ball game right now. Tying the season high, 3 picks that Corey Robertson had a year ago. We want to know who's the last Jacket defender to pick off more than 3 passes in a season, and how many did he intercept? Call 465-6200 to get your Cotton Patch meal.
Chase Daniel in trouble. He's going to run for it up to the 20-15. He's sprinting for the pylon, and the Dragons are on the board again. 11:49 to go in the game, and the Jackets were trying to keep Carroll below 50. Chase Daniel on a busted play as he was scrambling for his life. I'm going to tell you one thing we have not stressed enough tonight. Chase Daniel is a converted wide receiver from last year to the quarterback position, and I'm not sure where he's more valuable, throwing the football or running it. He has a tremendous burst of speed.
Well, like I said earlier, he reminds me of a lot of Patrick Hagan of a year ago from Sherman.
Hartley on to make it 51, and he gets his kick on the way. It's a little bit more wobbly this time, but it goes through the uprights. 11:49 to go in the game, and it's 51-21, a 30-point lead now for the Carroll Dragons. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Yellow Jacket Football on the Next Media Radio Network.
You know, they're kicking off from the 45. I thought he might kick it on top of the roof.
Actually going to squib it, and this is going to be Hines. He's going to run it. He's up to the 20, 25, still going 30, breaks a tackle 35, out to the 38-yard line. Anthony Hines, 27. For whatever reason, Garrett Hartley pooched it to the pylon, and Anthony Hines says, all right, I'll run with it. And he gets a 36-yard return out of it.
The Yellow Jackets are very dangerous on those punt and kick returns with shock and awe back there, and that being Anthony Hines and Corey Robertson. Let's check down with them. Well, we'll do that in 1 second.
3 yards is what Corey Robertson needs to set Denison High School history. And he's going to get a chance here. Deep handoff. He's to the 40. And that'll be 2 more yards, maybe 3. And ladies and gentlemen, a 3-yard carry. And Corey Robertson on that carry, on that innocuous carry with 11:29 to go, has done what no other running back in the illustrious history of Denison High School has ever done. He has eclipsed the career mark for 200-yard rushing games as a junior in only his 13th start. 6 times, count them 6, 3 in 4 games this year. Corey Robertson sets Denison High School history tonight. Robertson gets a chance to add to the total, and he is going to wind his way upfield to the 46-yard line as he goes over the 200-yard mark and then some now. Corey Robertson with 203 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns on the night.
Well, it's just been Robertson here so far this evening. And so far on this second half, as they're not really messing around trying to throw the football any. They're just trying to pound it up the middle a little bit.
Trying to work on what they do best, knowing that they will not face another team like this all season. 3rd down and short. Scooter Means gets the call, and he plows his way into the hole. It's going to be just short, I believe, and it will be. And so, yet again, they'll have to punt the football. And I was told that I needed to get the binoculars up. Our Jason Smith, our Brancher Funeral Home sideline guy, it wasn't Josh Vaughn on that last punt. Tell us who it was.
It was Robert Hookstra. The second round actually was battling Josh Vaughn for the punting job all preseason. Hookstra, of course, injured the first part of the season, just came back last week, and he was punting last week.
Jackets go for it, 4th and 1. Robertson trying to get outside. He can't quite get to the markers. He's hit in the backfield. And the Yellow Jackets roll the dice and come up snake eyes.
Wow. 9:44 left to go in this football game, and the Dragons are in position. You know, they're going to get the ball on Denison's side of the field. 51-21. They are on top here. Wow.
Well, there is no question that Southlake has put it on the Jackets tonight again. 54 points last year and 51 tonight, but I'm going to tell you that the showing by the Yellow Jackets, a much, much different affair this year than last. It was a complete whipping last year, I think you could say. No offense to those players who played last year, but Denison was just outperformed in every area of the ball last year. Not this year. Fumble on the play. The Jackets, Vinny Rhodes has recovered at the 42.
Wow, out of nowhere, Vinny Rhodes comes up with the football.
Desmond Baker on the blind side blitz. That time he hit Chase Daniel in the backfield, and for the first time tonight, the Dragons make a mistake and cough it up. Vinny Rhodes on the spot, and I thought he might have a chance to rumble to the goal line, but he just couldn't get the wheels going fast enough.
He's got a lot to rumble.
He does have a lot to rumble. There's no doubt about that, and that call would have been a Keith Jackson rumbling, bumbling, stumbling all the way to the end zone, I'm pretty sure. 1st and 10 for the Jackets. Robertson dotting the I, owns the school record now. This is Means getting the carry, heads left, and plows his way for a couple of yards to the 41-yard line.
I clarify, owning the school record. That is for most career 200-yard games. That is his 6th. Passing Aaron Jackson was 5.
And, you know, had he not been taken out of the game against Samuel with about 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter and 193 yards rushing, he'd have 200 or more every week this season. He is unbelievable. This is going to be Crawley. I wanted to say Farley. Crawley boots the snap as it was low from Gary Wetz, and he had to fall on it. It's going to be a loss back to the original line of scrimmage.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 10 or maybe 11 as they move it back to the 44-yard line.
Clock running, 8:44 to go, 51-21. The Dragons in the lead, flexing their muscles, proving why they were the best a year ago and very likely among the best this season in Class 5A. Remember, they're ranked 4th in the state. This is 3rd and 11.
4 wide receivers.
Crawley in the shotgun. Robertson flanks him. Crawley back to pass. Throws, has him in. It's caught. 1st down for the Yellow Jackets. Micah Hudgens makes the quick inside move and makes a great grab on a bullet from Will Crawley.
Well, that was a nice throw from Crawley. Had 3 receivers on the left side of the field. Only Hudgens by himself on the right. Threw to the Hudson side and made a strike throw right at the 32-yard line, just enough for the 1st down.
Sets up a new set of downs for the Jackets, keeps the drive alive after the Vinny Rhodes fumble recovery. By the way, Vinny Rhodes on the year in the fumble recovery department has 2 to go with his 3 sacks of the quarterback. This is going to be play action. Crawley back to pass, throws, it's tipped and knocked away as I believe that was Hudgens again that was cutting to the inside. No, it was Chad Roberts. And it was deflected away from Roberts as he ran virtually the same route.
Yeah, it was a lot. Well, what Kevin Farr just told us, the turnover ratio is now a +10 with that Rhodes recovery, and that is unbelievable season statistics. And
you want to see how important that is. Denison, the last time they were in positive territory for a season in turnover ratio was in 2000 +6. Remember, that's the year they won a district championship and advance to the 2nd round of the playoffs. This is going to be an interception that is dropped as Will Crawley is absolutely hammered as he unloaded the football. The ball floated a little bit on him as Jeremy Kimbrell was running downfield. It was nearly intercepted.
Yeah, Pete Fleps was right there. He's the outside linebacker, kind of their version of Nathan Farley, and he came up and really laid the wood down on Crawley there. So that'll bring up a long 3rd down.
3rd down and 10. Denison has not been great tonight converting on 3rd and long, but they did convert just moments ago. 2 out of 9 in that 3rd down conversion department. This is going to be a deep handoff. Robertson running left, gets to the 30, and he's tackled after a 2-yard gain. So he continues to pile the yardage. He has not eaten it up in big chunks in the 2nd half like he did in the 1st. But Corey Robertson over the 200-yard mark yet again, and the Jackets are undoubtedly going to go for it here after going for it on their end of the field a few moments ago on 4th down. Denison has not converted yet on a 4th down conversion this year. Timeout called. 4th down and 8, and Will Crawley flanked by Robertson in the shotgun. He's back to pass, looks at Robertson, he throws. It's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage, deflected. Chad Roberts never had a chance, and the Jackets still look for that first ever of the season 4th down conversion, as they have now misfired on all 4th down conversions. Denison on the year came into the contest on 4th down conversions 0 for 3. They're 0 for 2 tonight, and they're 0 for 5 on the year. 7:15 to go. It is definitely Carroll running away with it now, 51-21. But the Jackets have put up over 300 yards of offense, or they're closing in on that mark.
Last year, the score in this football game was 54-14. So
new quarterback into the game for the Carroll Dragons, and he's going to hand it off to Joe Troop, the backup tailback. And that quarterback is going to be David McAvoy. David McAvoy, a 6'2", 185-pound senior. And Joe Troop, the backup running back, 5'8", 160, a senior, gets 5 yards as Carroll just continues to dominate on the offensive side of the ball. They just have controlled the line of scrimmage from start to finish. And in my book, that's been the difference in the ball game tonight. Denison has not been able to control the line of scrimmage defensively, and that's been the difference. This is going to be McAvoy, busted play, running up the field, going to be tackled short of the first down.
Nathan Farley.
3rd and 2, or 3rd and 3 actually coming up with 6:32 to go in the game and counting. And I think Denison has done themselves proud tonight in most regards. You knew it was going to be tough. You knew Carroll was probably going to win. But I think Denison has proven they are definitely back in the upper echelon of 4A football.
Well, I think you got to believe that. And I think also if there's a defensive player in tonight's football game, it's got to be Nathan Farley.
I think that's a very good choice. 3rd down and about 3.5. This is McAvoy back, looks, wants to throw, has a man caught at the 50, and it's going to be a first down into Yellow Jacket territory at the 42. And, you know, Monte, if a Yellow Jacket fan listening back home wants to take exception with that statement that I just made, that the Yellow Jackets have asserted, I think, that they're back among at least the upper echelon. Maybe not the upper elite status yet in 4A, but I'm telling you, this is as good a high school team, the Carroll Dragons, as we've ever seen for 2 years now. And Denison has at least been able to handle them offensively. Our defense, they've been able to move the ball is what I'm trying to say. And that's got to give Denison great confidence heading through the remainder of this 2003 campaign. Don't forget that the only thing that really matters is what you do in District 11 4A play. This is going to be McAvoy handing it off to Troop, and he'll run to the 41-yard line before he's brought down. Guess who on the tackle? Nathan Farley, having perhaps a career night tonight as the Yellow Jackets' strong linebacker.
Maybe I need to have him as a senior spotlight every week.
I think so, and I think he is definitely the player of the game. And well, we'd be hard-pressed to not pick Corey Robertson tonight on the offensive side of the ball, as he has electrified the black and gold faithful yet again with 200-plus yards. 5:05 to go in the game, and it's all over but the shouting right now, and it's going to be care of flags everywhere on this one. On 2nd down and 9, it's going to be 3rd down and about 7 for the Carroll Dragons, depending on which way this hanky goes. And Monte, you were a player, and you were a very good player on a very good Howell Bulldog team. You hate to lose. Can you really take away something from tonight and build on it?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. When you know the team is that much better, and not that there's anything wrong with that. There's going to be teams that are better than you, and you just have to build on that. You have to take it, you know, and for whatever reason, you're able to get better from playing those teams. I don't know why. I guess it's, you know, just like when you're on the JV and you have to scrimmage the varsity every day in practice. That makes you better. By the time you get on varsity, you've been playing guys better than you, and that's kind of the way it is here. With Denison's going to take from this and keep playing. They're not going to play guys like this anymore. They're going to take this little education and whip up on Sulphur Springs maybe.
McAvoy in the shotgun running for his life. He is being chased, and he's going to go out of bounds well short of the first down yardage. Might have been an opportunity for an official to throw a late flag in there for a late hit, but the official said no, it's late in the ball game, and that really wasn't that bad. As Polk pushed McAvoy about a yard beyond the out-of-bounds marker, pushed him, shoved him a little bit more, and it's going to be 3rd down and 17 for the Carroll Dragons.
4:32 left to go in this football game. Of course, the Dragons up 51-21 here in Southlake.
McAvoy in the shotgun, flanked by Troop. Both of those, the backup quarterback and tailback. And McAvoy back to pass, wants to set the screen up. He does so, and Troop drops it. It's a good thing he did. It's a good thing he did, because your boy, Mr. Nathan Farley, was coming hard.
It's a good thing he dropped that ball, because he would have absolutely been lit up by Bill Bates. Nathan Farley. Wow. I mean, he had him in his scopes.
Well, this is the first time tonight we've seen what Garrett Hartley can do punting the football, and he's just about as good in that capacity as he is kicking the football. Timeout call. We are back last week, Anthony Hines, for the first time since 1997, took a punt back to the house. And he and shock and awe will stand back at the 10-yard line. Garrett Hartley going to put the foot into this one. And you see why he is such a great kicker as he puts it into the end zone.
Well, Corey Robertson called for the fair catch at the 5-yard line, but the ball was going to go into the end zone.
Let's talk about one thing. And you know, if Denison fans are, thinking, how can you be talking about such positive aspects in a 51-21 game? Well, I want to tell you, this is the 5A Division II champ. We've established that fact. This is about to be their 19th consecutive victory. And when you look at the Southlake Carroll varsity roster, there are 60 players dressed out tonight on the varsity roster against 43 for Denison. And we're told Carroll fielded this season 4 freshman teams. 240 freshman teams. This is Robertson. Look out. He's got room to run to the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. He fumbled it late. I think the official is going to say the ground caused the fumble, and Corey Robertson a little bit slow to get up. He is
Robertson on the carry.
actually, he's very slow to get up.
4:08 left in this football game. You hope, and you really hope, that you don't lose Robertson in a game like this with 4:08 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Well, he was obviously in some discomfort right there. He was putting weight on his foot. That's the good thing, but he was having to do it about every other step. So we'll just have to wait and see. This is going to be the Yellow Jackets 1st and 10 after the Robertson run. It's going to be a handoff. Scooter Means, he's going to go out to the 45-yard line and makes it out to the 46 before he stopped. And so the clock runs, 3:43 to go, 51-21. The Carroll Dragons in the lead. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline, man. Jason, what's the early word?
No early word yet. Doc's still working on it.
All right, Jason Smith doing a fine job yet again tonight. The Yellow Jackets have put some numbers up, 289 yards of total offense. And I think they over 300 now after Scooter Means carry. This is going to be Hines getting the handoff. He's to the 50 and close to the first down yardage necessary. As the Jackets do eclipse the 300-yard mark yet again offensively. Carroll 513 yards of total offense on the night, and they've got actually more than that at this point. 51 points on the board.
Kevin's
72 points total.
Kevin's pencil is
it's smoking.
It's about an inch long now.
Going to be 1st down and 10 after the 7-yard Hines carry. This is going to be play action. Crawley going to look, throw, zips it out there in the flat, has another 1st down. So Will Crawley has been putting together a quiet but nice evening as he completes the pass to Micah Hudgens yet again. And they'll move the sticks. It's mop-up duty, no doubt, for the Carroll Dragons with 2:52 to go in the game and counting. 51-21. Jackets just simply trying to put some more points on the board and get ready for district play, which comes up in 3 weeks. Hines the tailback, and he will get the handoff. Heads right, breaks tackles, still running, gets outside, and he's going to be slung down around the 28-yard line as he got 4 yards on the carry. Clock continues to move, 2:33 to go and counting. Don't go anywhere. We've got the Denison Yellow Jacket locker room show coming up after this contest tonight. And we've got plenty of highlights and some lowlights, no doubt, to talk about. Hasn't worked out the way the Jackets wanted it to, but
and don't forget about Dave Hilton's Red River High School scoreboard show that's going to be coming up after the Yellow Jacket locker room show.
This is going to be a play action. Crawley looks, wants to throw downfield, has him in, a great grab, and you can stick it in the end zone. Put it on the scoreboard. Will Crawley, for the first time in 2003, has thrown a touchdown pass. Carry on Zoe Harris, the man that made the acrobatic grab at the 1-yard line. He tumbled into the end zone, and with 2:01 to go, the Jackets get pass touchdown number 1 of the 2003 season.
Wow, what a wonderful catch down there. Unbelievable.
Jackets line up in the swinging gate, and we'll see. Nathan Farley is going to get a chance to boot it through. 27 on the board for the Yellow Jackets, so a PAT, and they doubled their effort of a year ago. And Farley puts it down the middle, and with 2:01 to go in the game, our new score, 51-28. We're back after this timeout. The Jackets have the onside unit in, and Nathan Farley is going to go back. And we'll see if he actually does the onside, and I believe he is. He's going to line up for an onside attempt. Why not? Denison trying to work on things for important games down the year. He's going to bang it. It's going to be recovered by the hands group for the Carroll Dragons. Making the recovery was Josh Redding. And that's just about going to do it. $1:57 to go in the game, and the Carroll Dragons should be able to just simply take a knee.
Corey Robertson's going to finish this game with an ankle injury and 21 carries for 230 yards on the night. And 910 yards combined in this football game. Carroll, 541 of it. Denison, 369. And Denison's big chunk of it, like I said, was Corey Robertson, 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wow.
Robertson, as you mentioned, went out on the previous series with some sort of an ankle turn, and they've iced him down, but he still has the pads on. And he is obviously going to be done for the night. And I think this one's just about done for the night. Just mop-up duty as the quarterback for the Carroll Dragons, the backup, that's McAvoy, hands it off to Troop. And the clock will run with 1:48 to go. Denison going to take it on the chin for the first time in 2003. 51-28 to the defending 5A state champs. Carroll is going to improve to 3-0 in the season. Denison will fall to 3-1. Of course, a homecoming date next week at Munson Stadium against Spruce. The week off, and then we crank it up for real. District 11 4A play. And that's where it all counts for real. 2nd down and 9. The ball at the 46-yard line. McAvoy hands it off. Troop again. Runs ahead. Has daylight. Still running. Sandwiches his way between a couple of Yellow Jacket tacklers to the 41 of Denison. And we're probably a play away from this one being concluded as the clock will stop momentarily at 1:04 to go. They'll set the chains and wind it again. Again, next week at Munson Stadium, it is homecoming. The countdown to kickoff begins at 7 p.m. We encourage you to bring the radio to the stadium, to Munson Stadium, as Denison celebrates homecoming and looks for win number 4 in 2003. And 46 seconds and counting, and the Carroll Dragons are just going to go to the knee. McAvoy will take the knee, and that's going to put the exclamation point on it for the Carroll Dragons. They're going to go to 3-0. Their win streak goes to 19 games in a row after their stellar run to the 5A Division II title last year. They're off and running again this year, ranked 4th in the state of Texas in Class 5A, and no reason they're going to fall at all this week in those rankings. Clock inside of 20 seconds to go. The final snap of the ball game as McAvoy comes up under center, takes the knee, and the clock winds to 9 seconds and counting. And ladies and gentlemen, this one's in the books. Todd Dodge puts 50 on the board 2 years in a row, 54 at Munson Stadium a year ago. And the Carroll Dragons went on to a state title. He puts 51 on the board this year. The difference is Denison able to muster a pretty good offensive challenge themselves with 369 total yards of offense. And the Jackets take it on the chin, 51-28, fall to 3-1 on the season. The Carroll Dragons go to 3-0. Denison, however, looks to close out a successful non-district campaign next week at home against Spruce